Today we're here at the University of Ostrava at the Institute of Applied Fuzzy Modeling, whatever that may be, and we're going to speak with Zahra Alejani today about her life here from Iran. So, let's go in. Hello? Darud? Darud ala shoma chitare.
Sorry?
I guess I do not have this correct then.
Salam was inherited from Arabs.
Yes.
But if you want to use the very Persian word, you should say durud. I applied to one position in Ostrava University, and since I knew some people from here and we were contributing, I got the position. What caught my eyes in the beginning, that people are not shy to come and say hi to you. Always they say Dobry den, Dobre rano. It was very nice to me. I couldn't hear this for a very long time in Estonia. Nobody wants to greeting to you. When I came here, everybody was welcoming, and I didn't feel that I am somewhere like as a stranger. Everybody was very friendly, and I didn't have any issue. Maybe only issue that I faced in the beginning was language barrier.
Favorite Czech food?
Svičkova, kolajda, and cabbage soup. Zeli kesilik, but it is zelashka.
This is Expat Episodes, when news stories begin. I'm Ian, your host, and I'll be guiding you through the stories of expats in the Czech Republic.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Expat Episodes from the Ostrava Expat Center. My name is Ian Transu, and today we are here at the Institute of Fuzzy Modeling. It's a longer name, but that will do. With our guest today from Iran, Zahra Alejani.
Yes.
Okay,
sorry.
good. I pronounced it correctly
Yes.
this time. Wonderful. Thank you for inviting us to your office and, well, your conference center anyway. And yes, so first off, could you please tell us, since we are here, let's start with the job. What is this place? What are we here for?
Hello, welcome to our institute. Here is the Institute for Research and Application of Fuzzy Modeling. We are part of Ostrava University, and I joined to this institute in 2021. And when I joined to the institute, I thought, okay, it will be like a short time experience and I will go back to my previous university. But then I worked here and I liked it and I fell in love and I started to like this place, and now I'm here for like 5 years.
Okay, before we go to the history of falling in love with this place and certain people, please explain, because I have no idea, what is fuzzy modeling? What is this?
It is called fuzzy mathematics separately. Like if you want to make it very simple, you have sets like cat, dogs, I don't know, young people, old people, and you explicitly say that, okay, this person is young, he is young. This person is old, he is old. But in fuzzy logic, you have the interval, and you always say that everybody belongs to this set with membership degree. Like, for example, if you have 50 years old person, you don't say that he is old. You say he belongs to the set with membership degree, and membership degree should be between 0 and 1. And this person has membership degree, but close to, if you want to categorize the young people, his membership degree is very close to 0, like 0.2,
Okay.
because he is beyond the age of young people, right?
Okay.
This kind of stuff. And everything is related to this membership degree. You categorize everything with this membership degree. And it is not crisp, like say yes, no.
Right.
You have everything belongs to that set, but with membership degree.
So it's very fuzzy.
Yes, yes. That's why it is called fuzzy.
That makes sense now.
Yes.
And how did you get into, when we started speaking, you told me you have been into mathematics for quite a long time. Like you studied in young age and...
Yes. When I started my study, because I was born in northwest of Iran, and when before going to school, the provinces that like I was living and the other provinces close by, they speak Azeri, and I didn't know how to speak Persian because it wasn't my mother tongue. But then I went to school and started in the schools. It is mandatory. You need to speak in Persian, Farsi, and I learned it easily, and I liked it. And then the second thing that I liked was mathematics after reading the literature in Farsi.
Then, before we go to literature, let's see if I have this correct. Darud hala shoma chitare.
Sorry?
I guess I do not have this correct then.
Okay, can you repeat it again?
I tried so hard all morning for this. Darud hala shoma chitare.
Shoma Chetori.
Chetori. Ah,
And
okay.
the beginning I didn't understand. What was it?
Darud.
Dahud?
Darud.
Darud.
See,
Yes.
just the slightest change messes everything.
Darud means hi.
Yes.
And how are you?
Yes.
How are you doing? Yes.
I learned, I was trying so much for this
Yeah,
morning
thank
to
you.
try.
It was very nice.
And I even looked for something besides salam because it's like, oh, that is the
I
Arabic.
think salam was inherited from Arabs.
Yes.
But if you want to use the very Persian word, you should say durud.
Durud,
Yes. Durud
okay.
and bedrud is for goodbye.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much
You
for
add
this.
one be, it is goodbye.
I'll practice my pronunciation more for this. So. Okay, so you did the mathematics and then you came.
Yes,
How did you come here?
In high school, because in Iran, when you want to study in high school, you need to choose which subject and field you want to continue. And in that time, we had, I think, 3 main subjects, fields. One was mathematics and physics that I was interested in because I wanted to be medical doctor. I loved it a lot.
Okay.
And I thought it will be good if I have good knowledge of physics and chemistry and mathematics. Then I will, because for university also you need to pass the exam, entrance exam, and it is very competitive exam. In that time when I was participating, there were about 1.8 million young people going to this exam. And I wanted to go to the university for medical school, but when I was studying in high school, I thought, no, I think I like mathematics and physics more because I was really good in physics and mathematics and also chemistry. Then I decided to study mathematics, applied mathematics. So I started my study in one city because after passing the entrance exam, you need to choose universities that you are in the level of choosing these universities. And I chose the university that was very far from my town. It was in the east of Iran, north of Iran. The reason was that it was a university that trained the teachers for being the teacher for high schools. And I chose that city without knowing anything about this city. And then when the final result of the exam came, I saw that I was accepted to that university, and I was very sad because it was very far, like 1,000 kilometers far from my town. Okay. And I was very small, young, and I was a bit scared. Oh, I don't want to go there, but I had to go.
How old were you at the time?
18.
18,
yes.
Okay.
I went there for one semester, but then I could go back to my hometown because we have 2 good universities in my hometown, Zanjan. And I was accepted there because my grades was good for that university too. And I moved back to my hometown university. And I studied there, bachelor. I got a lot of good friends there.
You told me before that from there you got to Estonia.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not
okay.
yet.
So
Yes, my story is very long. Then I stopped for some time to study because I lost my father and I had to work. And then I applied for several jobs because I wanted to go to work in the bank as a bank clerk, it is called.
Clerk.
Yes. Or being data scientist in the bank. But I passed several exams, entrance exams, because it is very competitive again, and you need to pass exams. I passed the exams in several banks, but then you go to second round of interview that it is not about your knowledge, but it is about your beliefs, thoughts, and I was always rejected in this stage because of special requirements that I didn't want to admit, especially political reasons. And then I decided to continue my education. Then I started the university in Zanjan. This university is very special and unique in Iran because it doesn't have any borders, like walls, fence, or anything. And the founder is one very famous professor in physics. His name is Professor Sobuti, and he is the founder of this institute. And the name of the institute abbreviation is IASBS. I need to recall what is it for. Institute for Advanced Studies in Basic Sciences. I got there and I finished my master. Meanwhile, I was working in the high school. That university is very unique. It has a direct PhD. You can start your direct PhD from when you are 18, after you pass the exam, or you can go after bachelor to have a master or PhD. And since I had some friends that they were studying in the same university as I studied for master, I was in contact with them, and I knew some of them went to Estonia and they are very happy there about their studies. So I applied for one position in University of Tartu in Estonia, and I got acceptance. It was 2016, and then I was a bit doubtful. My mom wasn't very happy that I'm leaving, and she thought, oh no, stay here, there is no reason, why are you going? But then I thought, okay, I will come very often and visit you, don't worry about like being far from each other. But I stand on my promises for at least 2 years because I could travel back and forth for some times. At least in 2-3 months I could travel for first time, and they were very happy. I stayed with them for 1 month during Christmas because I didn't have anything to stay. But then I got busy because of the study and doing the job. So I found friends there. But if I want to say about the Estonians, they are very nice, and but they are a bit closed.
I find it as well. I did some time in Norway, and kind of like the northern countries, they're very friendly.
Yes.
But a friend said it very well to me. You can meet people easily, but it will be like 3 years before they invite you to their house.
Yes, and I didn't get to that point at all. I tried to invite them to be friends, but I think for them it is a bit difficult to...
How long did you stay in Estonia?
I was there since 2016 till 2021.
Okay, so quite a few years.
5 years, yes.
And then that leads us now to this point in your life. How did you get, we know, from Iran to Estonia, but now Estonia to Ostrava? How? Why?
Yes, that is another story. The group of people from this institute came to Iran for the conference. It was located in the institute that I was studying my master, but in that time I finished my master. And I met several people from the same institute there, and one of them, she still is working in here, and I got idea to have my master thesis based on her research. And we knew each other through the emails, and I several times asked her questions, and she was very friendly and she tried to help me. I can call her name. Her name is Professor Irina Perfilieva. And then I applied to one position in Ostrava University, and since I knew some people from here and we were contributing, I got the position. And I was a bit doubtful that is it worth that I'm leaving because I had kind of stable life there. I knew friends. I had my comfortable zone. But then I decided to take another adventure in my life. And I moved to Ostrava. In the beginning, it was a bit difficult because it was summer when I moved in here, and everybody was on vacation. I couldn't see many people, but Martin that we met today, he came. He was very nice. In that time, he was the head of institute, and he introduced everyone to me. Slowly, I got to know people, and one day, my husband.
Yes, this is an interesting story I want to hear.
Back in the days, he was colleague. He came because our offices are located in front of each other. He came and knocked the door, and he said, "I heard from one of the colleague that you are Iranian, and that colleague also has Iranian wife." Yes.
Okay.
And he didn't know that how he should welcome. Can he shake the hand, or he can hug or not? He was a bit hesitant. And I started to shake the hand, and I said, "Yes, it is okay. Don't worry. It is very normal." And then,
so at least very respectful.
Yes.
Okay.
I like it that people ask about it, but yes. So we met each other for first time, and then because we like tea, Iranians, and after meals we like to have tea, not coffee.
Yes.
So I invited him for tea in my office, and in the beginning he was a bit doubtful. He was sitting always behind the table. And after 1 week he came and he said, "Oh, can I sit here?" "Okay, yes, sure." And then he added me to some groups to meet people. I think one was a Facebook group that you can meet. I think it was called English Coffee.
Yes, I think it still exists.
So you can meet foreigners in here. And then he added me to some other groups that people from Institute go for lunch together. Then I slowly started to meet people, and I liked the environment, and I found people that I can work. So now I'm here.
Now you're here. Which leads me to, what did you find very different coming here to Czech Republic and Ostrava? Even compared to Estonia, or like you said, Estonian people sometimes can be closed. Are the Czechs different? Are they more open?
For me, yes, I could see the difference between like people in here and in Estonia. What caught my eyes in the beginning, that people are not shy to come and say hi to you. Always they say "Dobrý den," "Dobré ráno." It was very nice to me. I couldn't hear this for a very long time in Estonia. Nobody wants to greeting to you, because once I tried to ask one of my Estonian friends, "Why you don't greeting when you meet each other?" And she said, "Because we are very honest, and if we want to continue, if you ask me how are you doing, I cannot just say I'm good, I'm fine. I should continue. I should say what happened to me in last week.
Every health problem, all the situations with family.
So it is easier to ignore and don't have any communication. And I thought it is very sad to say this. You can just be nice and say, "I'm good, thank you." But I think this is their habit. And they are very nice people. I don't want to say anything bad about them. Yes, it is different culture, I think. So when I came here, it was really nice to see this, and people are going for lunch together, colleagues, which I didn't have it there, except with my Iranian friends there, because we were in the same building. Some of them were working in 3rd floor. I was working in 4th floor, and we were always going for lunch together there. But here it was different. Everybody is going for lunch, and they want to go for like having social activities together. Then I found friends to go for climbing in here, which is one of my hobbies now.
Now just regular, like indoor wall climbing, or do you actually go outdoors to mountains?
Indoor, yes.
Okay.
I didn't get enough experiments to go outdoor climbing yet, but I think I should start to climb outdoors too.
Do you like the area around here, do you get out hiking or do you get to see much of Czech Republic? Is it nice to be a tourist here as well?
Yes, I like hiking. We have been in Zahra several times with friends, with my husband and friends. I like Ongenik. We go very often there in summer and winter, especially in winter. I love to hike because I think it is very calm and I love snow.
Reminds you of home, getting out the door?
Yes. Not anymore, unfortunately, but yes. Yes, I like it. And my husband's family live close by in Japan. We usually go to Fredrik Mistake because I like Fredrik Mistake because it is different from Ostrava.
Yes,
I want to say.
Yes. Almost a village. Almost.
Yes, and there is one tea room that I really like. Tea room. Dobra Chayovna is the name
Dobra
of it.
Chayovna, yes.
Yes, I love that place because it has several halls, and one of them, they are traditional halls that I like to explore, and one of them is like Turkish saloon, Japanese saloon, I think Moroccan saloon, and I like to sit in Japanese because the style is very Iranian. You need to sit on the floor.
On the floor, yeah.
Yes.
Have you been to the one in Český Češin?
No.
It is a lovely place. You should go.
I should go.
One of my friends who very much loves tea from Australia, he lived in Olomouc, but he would travel there just to go to the tea house because he thought it was his favorite.
And it is Dobra Chayovna?
Dobra Chayovna.
Okay,
very,
I should try.
Very Japanese garden style.
Oh, nice.
So,
I must try it.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you like the teas here, the tea houses. You also do something, you showed me a few medals before. You do something sports-wise or
yes.
Some activities.
Yes, I started like 4 years ago when I got one email from newspaper of university about the marathon in Ostrava, and it was a announcement that if you can build your own team from among your colleagues from university, you can establish the team, and then we will take care of the rest to put you in the position of the team. And I tried to negotiate with colleagues. In the beginning, everybody was very doubtful. I don't know, I can run. And it was like a marathon, but 6 kilometers per person. Like you change.
Right, you break, yeah.
Yes. And I tried to convince them, but we were missing, I think, 1 or 2 still. And then Martin tried to push them to go for it. And then we started it. And I think we tried it for like 4 years now, and I got these medals, and I'm collecting my husband's medals to in my office.
So you keep his stuff as well?
Yes,
yeah?
but he didn't participate last year. I had another team member, but now we are more than 6, and we are trying to build the second team.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is getting better and better.
And around this country, 2 other expats being from another country as well and living here, do you have any kind of recommendations around, like, is there any hidden places, restaurants or mountains or hatas or something for you that is like a special place you love to go besides Lisahore?
Hukvaldi, yes.
Hukvaldi.
I love this place because there is a preserved area for deers, and there is a statue of this fox that I really like it, and my husband proposed me there.
Oh,
that's why it is very
lovely.
Memorial place for me.
Nice.
And whenever we have some like occasions, we go there for celebrating it.
Now, the last subject to kind of finish up on as well is, first off, I want to say a very lovely outfit you have here.
Thank you.
Could you tell something about this? And let's go into a little about your culture, your country, and especially some food, because I love Iranian food. And if you can give me advice on where to find some or how to cook some, I would love it. I love to cook, so please tell me.
Yeah.
First off, about this. What is this?
Thank you. Yes, this is called Suzanduzi. It is from south east of Iran, Baluchistan. mainly ladies from Balochistan, they make it by hand. As you see, it has different motifs, and they knit it by needle and thread. And then they add mirrors or whatever to make it colorful and nice.
Very, very intricate.
Yes, and then the tailor sew all of them together to make a piece of cloth for you, whatever you like. And you need to, I ordered it online, but I need to like explain to the person what exactly I want, how it should be the shape. And I think it is really nice, and it shows the like historical places of Iran. If you go to Iran, you see on the arc of the mosques or traditional places this kind of patterns, especially the Turkish color, which I really don't have it in here, but I really like it. It is very colorful, and I think it is a good representative of the culture. About the food, have you ever been in any Persian restaurant?
Yes, but it's such a long time ago. So, I would love to hear good things.
Last week I was in the movie debate, and I heard there is one Persian restaurant near to Chesky Teshin. I haven't tried it yet. I want to try it, and it is called cardamom.
Cardamom.
Yes. Do you know it?
No, I do not.
Okay. So now you can search for it.
I will look it up. I must go.
Yes, because it is close to you probably. But yes, what was interesting when I came here, I didn't talk about the food in here because I love Czech food too.
Oh, good.
Czech cuisine, because they have kind of similar taste, I would say. Yes.
Similar taste. Okay, all right.
Similar in the sense of having spices.
Okay.
And you see it like
the
Vietnamese,
paprika and things.
Yes, Vietnamese restaurants. I don't know this Indian restaurants. Maybe they are a bit closer to our dishes. So, and I like swichkoa.
Okay, that I can see.
Kulayda, I love it. And one more, I like this cabbage soup. And my husband is very good in making cabbage soup.
Okay.
But about the food, yes, for first time when I invited my husband to my apartment, I cooked one traditional food for him. It is called fesenjun, because in Iran we always have stew and rice.
Right.
And the rice is like huge. It's like mountain and full of saffron, barberries, and we like to make it very colorful. And he was very surprised, and he said, "This is for me. It's too big portion." And I said, "No, you can take as much as you want. You don't need to finish it." And the stew is called fesenjun. It is with chicken meat, pomegranate paste, and walnuts, and also plum paste. And you need to cook it for a very long time. It should stay in very low flame for a long time, like 4 or 5 hours. That the oil of the walnut can be extracted.
Yes.
And then it is very tasty. You don't need to add really special spices, maybe a bit of salt and pepper, and that's all. It is very simple, but it needs time and patience.
I would very much love to get the recipe from you. Because,
yes, sure.
again,
I can share it with you. And he loved it.
And he proposed right after. In Hukvaldi.
And whenever he wants to have some, he never asked to have, like, we always respect to each other's time, and he never asked me to cook food. But whenever he really craves for it, he asks, "Can I have fesenjun?" And I happily make it for him or for my guests whenever I want to invite someone for dinner or occasions.
Great, lovely. So what would you say now coming here, and besides family, I know, and especially in these times, and please, my best wishes to your family and friends and at home. But what is something you would say that you really miss from home right now?
As I said before, I'm really missing to communicate with friends and my family members, because now for I think more than 1 month in Iran people don't have access to internet, and it is really hard for them. Some people can get VPN to call, but it is very expensive. Like you need to pay per gigabyte a lot of money, and a lot of people cannot afford it. Yesterday I could call, my brother could call me, and he said I bought 2 gigabyte of internet for like very high price. And finally, after 1 month, I could see the face of people, because now we are in the season of Persian New Year and they are on holidays, vacations, and everybody is at home, and I could see the faces. But I am really missing to call them, because when you live far, you really don't feel it if you can call them and communicate with them. But when you don't see face, you cannot call them, you don't hear their voices, you are really missing to be with them. And I think they are very hopeful for better future of Iran.
The Iranians I have met in Syria, Damascus, or around, have always been like, as I told you before, a pocket full of candy, very open and warm. Do you find here, how do you find the Czech people? Like I said, a little more open and warm than Estonian, but how do you find the Czech people? Are they as open and accepting?
For me, it was very simple. I would say yes. When I came here, everybody was welcoming, and I didn't feel that I am somewhere like as a stranger. Mm-hmm. Everybody was very friendly, and I didn't have any issue. Maybe only issue that I faced in the beginning was language barrier, because in Estonia everybody almost speaks English well. Yeah. And you don't have any issue. But here, in the beginning, it was a bit strange. But then I learned some Czech, and I think I found the places that I can easily communicate in English, and now I don't have any issue. Maybe only issue, and the big issue, is the paperwork in here, because
yes, it's horrible.
When I was in Iran, okay, I knew the language, I knew the office works. Whenever I was going to some offices for like paperwork, I was expecting, and it was okay. But when I went to Estonia, everything was digitalized, everything was very simple. You didn't need to go to police office, I do not know, insurance office, immigration, anything. Everything was digital. You were signing, when you were going to business trip, you didn't need to print tons of papers, sign them, and it was very simple. But when I came to Czech Republic, the beginning was a bit disappointed for me, because I had the resident permit of Estonia, and I thought this is a valid visa for me. I can go easily to Czech Republic. When I came here, I wanted to sign contract and start my job, but it took 4 months. Mm-hmm. From beginning, when I started job, to get the permit to work, took 4 months. And I had to travel back and forth to Poland, because you cannot apply for visa inside of Czech Republic. You need to go to neighboring countries. And the closest place was Poland for me. Mm-hmm. And I went 2 or 3 times there. And then I was staying in the queue to get the different documents about non-criminal statement, this and that. And I think it took 4 months. And then it was another issue for bank, because I'm Iranian. And I went to several banks, maybe all of them. And in the beginning, they were very nice, and they said, yes, sure, we will keep your document, we will check, and we will call you. But then they were calling me back, sorry, because of your originality, we cannot open bank account for you. Please try different, even though I had contract and everything. Mm-hmm. And in the end, I got some bank, but it took
Congratulations.
it took like 4 months. Yes. Yes.
So besides the bureaucracy, it's been okay. And the language. How are you doing on the language? You said you don't speak well, but do you get by?
I speak some, but not very much. Yes, I have a online course, and I'm studying with one of my friends together. So I'm so. I can understand normal communications if there are not very complicated or professional words, but in speaking, I'm so. not very good.
As long as you can get by. And you have the husband to help you.
Yes, he's my live translator.
Okay, last just a few random questions, quick answer ones. So, you said once before, again, favorite Czech food?
Svíčková, kolayda, and cabbage soup. Zeli
Zeli.
kesilik, but it is zelaška. These three are my favorite dishes, I would say. Oh, I like also kahna.
Are you, being here long enough, what about kofola?
If I want to be honest, I don't think it is something special. At least for me, it is not special. It is over sweet.
It's overly sweet.
Yes.
It's so much less than the others like Coca-Cola or something.
In general, I don't drink any like soft drinks except water.
Is there a comparable like Iranian alcohol? Like here, when people think of Czech Republic, it is beer or slivovica, and south the wine. But does Iran have like a specific alcohol? I know it's not like the huge thing, whether religious or something, but every country has something.
We had with vinegar, not vinegar, sorry, with grapes.
Yeah.
And we have very famous wine. In Farsi, we call wine sharab, and sharab Shiraz. Shiraz, this town Shiraz, has very famous wine.
Oh, that's the Shiraz, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the red, yes?
Yes.
Oh, very
With
good.
grapes and always red.
Okay. Thank you so very much for talking to us. We appreciate it so much and learning about what we can about fuzzy modeling and things of this sort.
Thank you for coming here, and it was very nice to talk to you.
And very good luck to your family and friends and everybody back home.
Yes.
And
I wish the best for them.
thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. And again, if you've got a good story for us, contact us. We'd love to hear from you and talk to you at a podcast sometime.
This podcast is proudly brought to you by Ostrava Expat Center.